A huge loss in the community. Bishop Mckinney founded St. Stephen's Cathedral in 1962. Tonight, loved ones remembering the great legacy he leaves behind.
It is time for immediate and urgent action.
Bishop George Dallas Mckinney, a pillar in San Diego's black religious community, born August 9, 1932 in Arkansas, eventually making his way to San Diego, where he and his late wife, Dr. Jean Mckinney, founded St. Stephen's Cathedral Church of God in Christ while raising 5 sons.
From the days of marching in the streets to the days of downtown at City Hall to times in the church in the neighborhoods.
We want justice! When do we want it? Now!
A civil rights activist and community leader.
He was always planning for something better.
Pastor Clarice Christian says she met Bishop Mckinney in 1983.
Describe what he was like as a person.
Humble, very knowledgeable, very intent on doing the work he's been called to do.
He's received numerous honors for his dedication to community service and religious teachings, an author of 8 books.
He's invested in enough people and in enough churches, in enough ministries. He won't be forgotten and be well remembered and with honor.
He was 88 years old, remembered by thousands here locally and nationwide. Lauren Coronado, NBC 7. Such a scary situation here at the zoo this afternoon. A witness I spoke with tells me he and his family anxiously watched it all unfold and says he's thankful no one was hurt.
I was literally speechless. I was, it was one of those moments where you try to talk and you're going to probably tear up because, the adrenaline's going so much.
Matthew Pacilli and his family are annual pass holders at the San Diego Zoo. They visit often, but this time was unlike any other.
I'd say it took my wife and I a good, half hour where we were finally able to kind of get our composure and just, digest what happened.
Pacilio says a man holding his toddler went through barriers and trespassed into the zoo's elephant enclosure for what appeared to be a photo op. People watching in disbelief.
A lot of people froze and didn't know really how to take it in, but immediately everybody was pleading with him, and then it became frantic and hysterical.
He says no more than 30 seconds in, the elephant noticed the pair and let out a roar.
This one let out a large roar. It stuck its head up in the air and its tusks, and it started kind of a fast trot towards them.
Pacilio says witnesses rushed to help the two. The father was running away from the elephant, then tripped and dropped the toddler. The elephant an estimated 5 feet from them.
I didn't think it was going to end well. There was a moment when the elephant had the option, and luckily the elephant kind of took a second guess, and there was a little bit of confusion right there on the floor between them.
He says the father managed to hand off his son, then made it to safety just before the elephant hit the metal fencing.
The tusks actually protruded out the other end.
Thankfully, no one was hurt.
I'm thankful everybody's safe, and hopefully everybody can learn just a valuable lesson and move on, and the elephant is okay and doesn't take any blame.
San Diego police say the father is facing charges related to child endangerment and trespassing. Lauren Coronado, NBC 7. Truly just a tragic crash. I spoke with family members who are mourning the loss of their loved ones tonight. Not ready to share details with the community just yet, but for now, friends, family, and neighbors are lighting candles and dropping off flowers for the young man and woman who were taken too soon. Flowers, candles, and messages memorializing the lives lost as a result of this crash. It happened Friday night. San Diego police say 2 cars driving at high speeds, possibly racing down Genesee near Linda Vista Road, sideswiped each other, sending one of the cars into oncoming traffic and hitting another car head-on, a 21-year-old young woman at the wheel. I spoke with her family at the crash site. They confirm she didn't make it and passed away at a nearby hospital. The 17-year-old driver who collided with her also died at the hospital. A neighbor says she's been talking with his family.
I just wanted to offer whatever our neighborhood could do. We wanted to make sure they had parking, anything I can do.
She's lived here about 30 years and says she sees dangerous driving along this curve far too often.
I mean, it's only been here, for example. I wonder almost if we need to get some speed bumps or something, because this corner is just a terrible corner. It's just heartbreaking.
And police say the third driver involved and the 2 passengers in that car had complaints of pain. As for the other passengers involved, we do not have an update on how they're doing tonight. Reporting in Linda Vista, Lauren Coronado, NBC7.
Oh, I love the rain, yeah. Love the rain.
In flip-flops and without an umbrella, Cooper Mayo setting up shop to enjoy the afternoon fishing.
The catfish actually like when the water's murky. You know, when it rains, the runoff comes in and they bite better. But I've only caught 1 carp today.
He says it's the wind that gets in the way.
The wind is definitely a problem when you're fishing, because the line's really light, so it just kind of, you can't really tell if you're getting a bite or not, because it moves the rod around.
A wind advisory in effect with gusts up to 40 miles per hour expected to stick around late into the evening across the county. The mix of rain and wind, a chilly combination for the Shaws.
We're cold already.
Out filming a school project.
It doesn't rain a lot out here, so I'm like, let's go film today. And then of course it's the one day that it rains.
Waiting for the San Diego sunshine to break through the clouds.
We want the sun, yeah.
And in the foothills just north of Lakeside, low-hanging clouds and little visibility. Still, cars in the parking lot as hikers weather the storm.
I love the rain. The rain's always good. It clears the air, and when it's done, everything's beautiful.
And it's certainly needed. San Diego County considered abnormally dry right now, according to the U.S. Drought Monitor. Mayo hoping for more days like this.
The rain's nice because, everything's green and it's not as dry. And I just like the rain, it's just nice.
There are few places in San Diego County that have been hit harder than others. Chula Vista, a vital part of the South Bay, and these are the faces of the community's healthcare heroes at the front line of the pandemic more than a year.
It was surreal. That's the best word I think to use for it.
ICU nurse Charlotte Thomas and Dr. Juan Tovar, an emergency physician, both with Scripps Chula Vista.
Chula Vista has been hard hit.
Alfonso Valdez, lead clinical nurse at Sharp Chula Vista. Practitioners who've seen more loss in one community than they could have ever imagined.
It was just moments when we need a little bit of time, take 5 minutes. Cry if we need to. It was just intense.
Delivering the news to families who've lost grandparents like Antonio Arellano.
Love life.
Fathers like Raul Martinez, a veteran and retired CHP officer.
My dad, he was the funniest guy. Loved family, loved his kids, loved his grandkids.
Essential workers, Gerardo Gonzalez.
He's a great man. He was a very smart man. He's a great father, a great husband.
Disparities more obvious now than ever before.
We knew that we were going to have our hands full.
Many of the essential workers are Hispanics, right? So then we are people that live together.
Some working through the pandemic, hours cut, pay slashed.
We've had service here 15, 20 years. We had 5 servers that close to losing their apartments. So one did.
Others lost their job. Small businesses shut down for good, like Mangia Italiano, a well-known and loved restaurant on 3rd Avenue.
We're tired. We really are. So it was literally, when they said no, I have no more fight left in me.
But through the darkest days,
We had filled every bed and had to merge into a whole nother floor.
the community still rose above.
And that's one of the most amazing things about Chula Vista. Everybody wanted to help and they sent food.
Loved ones eventually making miraculous recoveries.
They call me the miracle.
Rosario Rodriguez spent nearly 50 days in the hospital before reuniting with family.
It was a challenge and I made it.
So did Matilda Perez.
There was a big chance that I wasn't going to make it.
Family pushing her through the fight.
My grandchildren are the most beautiful babies in the world.
It's those success stories that keep these healthcare workers going, now relieved to see fewer patients in the hospital and a decline in cases.
And what is it like now? Is it less stressful?
It is. It's like more like a feeling like, wow, this is what it's supposed to be. Things are supposed to come to work, and then everybody's more relaxed.
And because of that encouraging news, some restrictions have been lifted. Businesses are opening back up, people returning to work, a community on the road to recovery.
Thank God that we were able to stay afloat.
Back to indoor operations, although limited.
It's going to be nice getting back to what we used to call a normal lifestyle.
A close to normal lifestyle on the horizon with the help of vaccines.
So today you'll be receiving your first dose of the Moderna vaccine.
Chula Vista Mayor Mary Salas proud of the progress being made.
We are just so thankful to the county for really focusing so much here in the South Bay to get us through this.
We're such a strong community. We have the passion, we have the love to keep moving forward.
So much hope for a brighter future. The healthcare workers I spoke with stressing the importance of continuing to follow safety precautions, hoping to stay on the right path and return to a life as we once knew it. Reporting in Chula Vista, Lauren Coronado, NBC7.